Hey boys and girls, welcome back to the workshop where, as you can see, I'm actually in the official Rafter K Rustic studio. If you look at the stats for my channel, you'll see that I'm coming very close to that, getting over that hump that'll get me to my 1,000,000 subscriber goal. I think this morning I had almost over 130 subscribers, and I know that there's just this little hump and then things just go crazy. So I just got to get over that hump and I'll be there. So unlike a lot of guys, I realized I was going to need some help, and I went to a YouTube consultant. Now, it's either the best $12.97 I ever spent in my life, or it's a colossal waste of my limited retirement savings, but we'll find out soon enough. And the first thing I asked the guy was, what is it you got to do to succeed in YouTube? How was it designed? And he said that the best thing you can do is there's three things. You can be either famous already, you can be good looking or have really nice hoodies, or three, you can have some talent or knowledge or something about you that draws people to want to watch you. So I looked at him with my hopeful young eyes and said, what is it that I should do? And he said, well, there's a fourth way for people like you. And that is that you can make videos of yourself watching people who have either talent, looks, or fame already. And people will actually watch that. And I said, I don't want to do that. I like to make my own stuff. That's the fun of this. And he said, well, here, watch this. And I watched 3 or 4 of these reaction videos, and these guys have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of viewers. So, I got to say, I guess you got to do what you got to do. So I watched a few, and I kind of got an idea how to do it. And this is going to be my first one. I went to Google, and I used the random YouTube music video generator. And out of the entire YouTube universe, it chose this video. I don't know how it did it, but how random stuff works. And I've never heard of this guy I'm going to be reacting to. I'm sure most of y'all probably haven't either. All I know about it is that there, his little info thing about the video, it said that it was a genre called old fart country. Now, as a hip-hop guy who's made a career mixing gangster rap and Scandinavian pirate metal, I don't know much about country music, but I do know a couple things. One, they like to drink, and two, they like to tell stories. So, let's see what it is. You get my honest reaction. We'll see what this is. Mr. Snurdly, why don't you start by playing cut 7?
Woke up in a jailhouse down in Texas, a long way from the Southern California sun. Don't recall what I did or how I got there, but Lord, it sure felt good to be back home.
Let's put a stop there, would you, Mr. Producer? No, I have to pause, by the way, every now and then, otherwise I'll get copyrighted. That's a thing you learn in YouTube school. The first thing I see about this is guitars upside down. I don't know if you noticed the pick guard's on the top instead of the bottom. And somehow it kind of throws me off. I was thinking maybe better if the guitar was upright and he was upside down, but then I remembered this time that I tried, those teeter things where you put your feet in and then you hang upside down, and I tried that naked, and I was hanging there and it felt pretty good, and I let my arms go down over my head like that, and next thing I know, the world went black and I couldn't breathe and I thought I was dying. And then I realized that what happens when I move my arms, I let my stomach slide up and it covered my face. So this probably is not a good idea for this guy either. So let's just forget I ever said anything. Maybe if I get around to it, I'll edit that out. So go ahead with cut 7, Mr. Producer.
I called my mama up, said your boy is on his way. I've had a little problem, there's been a slight delay. Didn't tell her what the trouble was, no, all that I did say is that with luck and good behavior I'll be there in 30 days.
All right, I got to pause again. Part of the reaction maybe is I want to help this guy out a little bit. Seems like a decent enough sort. In his day, he was probably a fairly good-looking guy. But I'll tell you right now, the lighting he's using just brings out. Look at this. You can see the wrinkles in his face. This ain't old fart country. This is crusty old fart country. He looks like the before picture on a Plexiderm commercial. Yeah, maybe if you could fix that lighting, things would be better. Of course, yeah, I don't know. You look down at his gut, maybe he doesn't need Plexiderm. Maybe what he needs is Paxiderm. That boy's got a little bit of a gut on him. It probably sounds like a mean thing to say, and I don't mean to be mean. But let's face it, elephant jokes are always going to be funny. Elephants are funny animals. But in the real world, I mean, let's look at it honestly. I'm not saying he's on the wrong side of the BMI curve, but let's say when he walks east to west, he carries dollars in one pocket, pesos in the other. You know, and I'm from the South. Bless his heart, I don't mean anything mean by it. You know that I'm really not meaning anything mean by it. And I'm not saying he ought to lay off the starches for a bit, but let's be real. His BVDs actually spell out the word boulevard. All right, one more. One more and I'll quit. I really will. I can't help myself, though. And I'm not saying next time he watches Wheel of Fortune, he ought to give up buying vowels and maybe buy a vegetable. But I'll tell you what, if he shaved old Harry McBeardface here, he'd probably show more chins in the Beijing phone book. That's a good one. You know, this reaction video stuff, this is actually kind of fun. Let's get back to the video, though. Let's see what Mr. Producer plays cut 21, would you please?
A while back I got the call to go to California. Asked this girl to go with me.
You know, I'm sorry. I gotta stop again. You know, I think the thing that would help more than anything right now, because I'm having a hard time focusing on the song, if he would trim back his mustache and his beard and put some broccoli or something up in his teeth, that would help, because then it would take my eyes off that flappy man boob that's sitting on top of that guitar. That's I've seen boobs on guitars that didn't look half bad, but that one, that's not good. That looks like he had a mammogram and it never reinflated. Anyway, Mr. Producer, let's finish cut 24, would you please?
Beg me to stay. I swore someday we'd make it big way out there on the west coast. She said she might be waiting if I ever come back her way.
Hold it up again there, Mr. Producer. You know, I was trying to listen to the song, and I looked down and I was looking at the comments on the video, and one of them said, that was asking him, said, you know, what are you looking at? The camera's over here, Poindexter. I don't know why he's looking over to his left like that. But in the answer, he said that he had a picture of the girl that he was leaving, that he left behind in Texas, and apparently her name's Jessie. And I got to tell you, I don't want to seem like I'm being creepy or anything, but I always thought Jessie was kind of a cool girl's name for a little country girl. You know, Mr. Producer, is there a way that we could get a different camera angle and maybe get a peek at Miss Jessie? Let's see what you can do, huh? Oh, jeez Louise. Take it off. Take it off. Oh, man. Oh, boy, you talk about something that answers one question and asks another one. Whew. Boy, it tells me why he left Texas, but it begs the question, what the hell did he hook up with in Cali that made him go back to Texas to that? Whew. Anyway, hey, you know, Andre, this is getting kind of fun. Why don't, can we get, what? Excuse me for a second, folks. My coach is whispering something in my ear. How can I say nice stuff? I said it was an honest reaction. I can see that, but I'd lose my credibility. They probably wouldn't even believe that it was a random video I'm reacting to. Yeah? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, I'll try. I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, y'all learned something from this too. He said that I'm supposed to say nice stuff about it so that his fans will like me and then want to watch my videos. It's a lot to learn here. And I don't think this guy's got a bunch of fans, but oh well. As we say in the reaction video business, with no further ado, play cut 23, Mr. Producer.
I called that woman up, said your boy is on his way. I've had a little problem, there's been a slight delay. Didn't tell her what the trouble was, no, all that I did say is that with luck and good behavior, I'll be there in 30 days. I guess California didn't work the way I'd planned. There's not.
Let's put a pause here, Mr. Producer. You know, as a Mongolian throat singer, I'm used to a little more interesting melodies and a little more soothing voices. But, you know, I got to admit, this hit does fit the song, and he is telling a story. And, you know, bless his heart, he's doing the best he can. I can't complain too much about it. It's actually maybe better than I thought it was.
Now that I'm gone, I can't wait to feel a lone star, long neck in my hand, in that old honky tonk I call home.
Hold there, Jasmine. Hold on. Whoa, just a second. You know, let's take this back just a little bit.
Lone star, long neck in my hand, in that old
right there. Do you see that? He not only did he actually, I think he hit that note on purpose, and it was the right note. Dude, this maybe isn't as bad as I thought it was. This is actually, it's not half bad maybe. Let's see the rest of it.
honky tonk I call home.
We ain't Roy Clark on the guitar, I gotta say that.
Sheriff took my boots and belt, my old faded jeans, dressed me in a pair of county whites. I spend my days working on a Texas road gang, lie awake and dream of home all night. I tell these boys around me it's just a stop along my way, a minor inconvenience that's caused a slight delay. I don't tell them where I'm headed when they send me on my way, but with luck and good behavior, I'll be there in 30 days. Woke up in a jailhouse down in Texas, a long way from the Southern California sun. Don't recall what I did or how.
Whoa, one last pause there.
But Lord, it sure felt good.
Look right there. You know, when he looks at the camera, I could almost get lost in his eyes. You know, I'm not gay, but if I was, no one believed that. He's way too old for me. All right, let's finish this thing up and get out of here, huh?
Good to be back home. Yeah, Lord, it sure felt good to be back home.
Well, that looks like the end of it. Oh, Andre's got me something I'm supposed to read here before I go. Says here, overall, this might be the greatest song I've ever heard. It will definitely go on my playlist. Go to his channel. I will leave a link. My reaction is by no means in a way to replace the support that he should get for his hard work. Also, if you like my video, please like it and subscribe and look out for my other videos coming soon. Thank you.